Hi, ever wonder what it's like to work another profession or live in the underworld? Listen to unsuspecting riders give a 10 to 15 minute personal masterclass as I spontaneously interview them as they enter my taxi. I'm your host, Simon Rushton, and this is Taxi Chronicles. Morning. Yes, we're back with another rider, another story. Today we've got a lovely Nubian sister here, and she's going to tell us what it was like working in Iraq as HR during 2008. And now, guys, for the ex-military people out there like me, you know it was a dodgy time. I was in Afghanistan that time, but anyway, let's hear what the lovely lady has to say. Nice to have you here today. So, let's start from the beginning. Why did they need you to go all the way over there?
Okay, just to correct you, I was working as a client liaison officer. So I hadn't started my career in HR at that point. Yeah. So the reason I was there was to attend, it was the Transport and Infrastructure Iraqi government meeting. Okay. So I was part of the team that organised the event.
But you wish Zoom was around then.
Yeah, absolutely. And the scare, it was put on me just like, so I started the role, and then 2 days later my manager said, next week we're going to Iraq.
Okay.
So it was, I was thrown in the deep end.
And then what did you say when he said that to you?
Obviously I had to pretend I was confident, I was excited about it, but I was shaking in my boots.
You had to pretend?
Yeah, because I had just started the role.
Obviously,
I wanted to pass my probation.
That's probably why he did that. So you travelled a lot with them?
I did 3 events, so Brazil, Iraq and Dubai.
Okay.
Yeah, then I quit because my daughter was still quite young, so I thought, it's not suitable for my situation right now.
So tell us, you're packing your bags. What's going through your mind?
Oh gosh, all sorts of stuff. I was like, am I going to come back home? Am I sure I want to do this? What am I put myself into? But where I had spoken to my parents, and they were both like, oh, it's cool, you'll be fine. And usually if they feel that something might go wrong, so especially mum, she's quite intuitive. Mm-hmm. So I trusted their judgment. I was like, okay, all will be well. So I just decided to just go with the ride and see what happens.
Okay, so you packed your bags, you're going on the what coach to the airport. What's your colleagues? What are
taxi.
They like?
My colleagues were fine. I got the job through a friend, so I was sort of familiar with colleagues through conversations with my friend, but I didn't really know them because, as I said, I had just started working there. My manager was nice. She was quite friendly, personable.
And they're all coming together.
Yeah, so it was just my manager and 2 colleagues. So it was the editor, my manager, myself, and one of the salespeople.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't a big group. However, when we got to Iraq, we joined other people who were delegates for the event.
Okay. Did you see fear in anyone else's face?
No. Everybody seemed quite fine. Yeah.
What was the atmosphere? Was Iraq what you expected it to be like? You had a picture. What's a picture that you had?
Well, I thought it was going to be. It looked better than what I envisioned. Put it that way. But one thing I can say, it was pretty much a ghost town. There was no one around, so you could tell that something terrible had happened on the land. It was pretty empty. No one was there, and you just kind of like. It just felt like you had to be on guard all the time.
Was it Baghdad?
It was Baghdad, yeah. So we stayed at the Al Rashid hotel, Saddam Hussein's hotel.
Yeah, I know that.
We stayed there. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I've got an interesting story actually as well.
Go on.
So we were only there for the weekend, and the first day of the event, I bumped into my mum's neighbour in all places, Iraq. I was like, what the frick are you doing here? And he was like, what are you doing here? This is my country. He's an Iraqi.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so that was weird. I was like, what a small world. So yeah, he was actually working at the event as well for a different company, because there were different delegates from different companies.
Mm-hmm. They're all vying for this position then.
It was to discuss transportation and infrastructure improvements. So I think everybody was just there to kind of like put their 2 pence in. Yeah.
Okay, so at least it's only two nights. I take it you didn't go out on the town?
Nah, well, there was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to go, and also there was a lot of security around the hotel, and we were actually closed in. We were in prison. We could not leave the hotel.
Could you go outside?
No, we could not. Oh,
no,
in the court.
perimeter?
You could, but I was too scared, man. I was staying inside where it was safe. But yeah, it was before we left London. My manager got a brief. She got sent a brief for all women for their basically dress code. We had to wear like long sleeves, you know,
no short skirts.
Exactly.
No cleavage showing, all of that.
Exactly. So from that, I was kind of like, oh gosh, this is going to be a bit.
Why? Cool.
No, I don't mind that, the modesty, but I thought, okay, yeah, I'm a black woman, and I know how, like, you know, Arabs can be when it comes to black people. So I was kind of like, I had my guard up around that.
Arabs, though.
Yeah.
Have you been to Oman?
No.
Oman's got more black Arabs than it does light Arabs.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of them from the slave times, and they've just they built up, but there's some real dark Arabs.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, real.
Yeah, so I had my preconceived ideas, but I have to say Iraqis are just so hospitable. They were so lovely, so warm. I didn't feel like they were just like, oh yeah, like being pretentious or whatever, just because they had to be. I genuinely felt like they were really nice people. So that was a wake-up call for me not to judge.
The Arab culture has like a very hospitable thing where, you know, you come my house, I feed you, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I found that in Morocco. They were quite like that, yeah.
So you don't regret going?
I don't, no, because it's a talking point. People are always fascinated when I say I've been to Iraq, and it was an experience. I'll never get. I don't think there's going to be a reason for me to go to Iraq again. And yeah, it was.
It's on my list of places to go.
It was a good experience. I wouldn't have liked to stay there longer than we did.
That's 2 nights.
Yeah, that was fine for me.
Okay.
But it was a good experience. Yeah, It was really good.
Last question I'm going to ask you is, what's the impact you want to have on the world? It's a question I ask everybody.
Okay. What impact do I want to... Well, I think my thing at the moment, and I think it's been a long-term passion, but I've only just started, is I've started supporting children in Africa to be educated, especially those children who live in where there's their parents, maybe they come from a one-parent family where there's not enough finances. So I support a young girl with her school fees. So I want to.
Is this in Rwanda or Uganda?
It's in Uganda. Yeah.
That's good.
So my legacy would be the people that I helped, my generosity.
Yeah, that's good. Well, thanks for that. Much appreciated. We hope you liked that interview. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get the latest daily episode. Ever considered investing in the continent with the fastest growing economy and population on Earth? The same continent that holds 30% of the world's known natural resources? Then listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories, where you will hear real investors with real stories from around the world share their experience of investing in Africa. We post Monday and Thursday at 10 a.m.